Welcome to In the Spotlight at Theatre Royal Wakefield, your backstage pass to the shows, the stories and the people that bring life to this beautiful old theatre. Each episode will lift the curtain on upcoming shows, meet the artists behind them and learn a bit more about the magic that happens on this historic stage. Let's get into today's episode. I'm here with the costume team for the band and we're at Queen Elizabeth Grammar School where rehearsals are in full swing.
Hello, I'm Emma James. I'm a wardrobe manager for the band this year.
And I'm Abbie and I study costume and textiles at Huddersfield and I'm on placement and I'm working with Emma. So I'm working in the wardrobe department, which I'm really excited for.
Amazing. So can you guys talk us through the process for getting costumes for a show like this?
Okay, so we audition at Wakefield Theatre quite early on, normally in the springtime for our young cast. And so that's the initial start for me, is when I'm starting to get cast measurements through and information through on casting. Alongside that, quite often we're informed of what production we're doing. And whether it's a script or a musical piece, I'm given the information, and my first thing is to read through that information and start to digest the production, not assuming anything, because we've done some really well-known productions in the past. This year the band, I suppose, is not as well known as some of the previous productions, but I always read it with a really open mind and don't have any preconceived concepts at that point. Just read it, get the casting information, and then a discussion with the wider team about how we might start to approach that. Abbie wasn't involved in that process this year. You came on board later, didn't you? But that's the initial stage of it. And quite often after I've done that first initial digest, we then meet in a production meeting where there's the tech manager, the director, the musical director, and we talk things through. And that's when we might start to discuss concepts, ideas. Just as a contextual thing, when I work for Wakefield Youth Theatre, my role as wardrobe manager is quite unique because we're quite a small team. So I am responsible alongside the director on making decisions on the design and the aesthetics, which is quite unusual because in a bigger team on a theatre production, you would have an actual designer that would inform those decisions. But in this instance, we don't. So it's really collaborative in our process. So like I said, open-ended at the beginning, and then we start to home down together. And the journey is very much a collaborative journey that we do.
Amazing. And does the casting decisions affect kind of the costumes you might choose?
Absolutely, especially because it is a youth production. And this year and other years, within the script, with the context, with the language, and the casting of different characters, we have to be mindful of their age, of the appropriateness, and we have had to look at that this year and in previous years where we've slightly adapted our approach on characterization and costumes for characters, just to make sure that our young people get the best possible experience, but also that we are appropriate for a young audience as well.
Yeah. And where do the costumes come from for these sorts of shows?
We were talking about this, weren't we, Abbie, yesterday? Abbie was asking, because you started yesterday with me, weren't you? Yeah. So do you want to say what I said, or can you remember it?
So I feel like I like to be sustainable in my own work, but I feel like you also like that as well. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you try your best to source everything secondhand where possible, but obviously it's not always 100% possible. And you took me to the costume warehouse yesterday, so every show that happens, once the show has done, all these costumes will all go to the warehouse, and then for the next shows we can go and pick what costumes we want, and obviously that's just reusing, and that's great for the environment and great because we don't have to buy anymore. So that is one place that they come from. But do you want to mention about where the other ones might come from?
Yeah. So we recycle as much as possible. And when we say recycle, we might pull something and use it as it is. We might pull something and go, that's a base, but we can adapt it. So it's a mixture. And then, like we say, we try and use secondhand. I try to use Wakefield charity shops. We have a wealth of charity shops in Wakefield. So yes. I do try and trawl around them and give back to the local community, as well as online platforms, because sometimes you can't get what you need locally. So those are the first two things. And then because obviously we have budgets that we have to look at, and it helps with our budget lines. And then those things that we're really struggling to find and recycle or secondhand, we'll then look at sourcing new or making. So this year is a combination of store items, charity shop items online and in shop, bought items from a various number of different places, and also there'll be some new bespoke designs. Specifically, there's a scene in Act 2 where we're in Prague, and there's a statue scene, and those are completely new makes that we've produced. So it's a complete, and each year is slightly different. The only thing we've not done this year that we've done in previous years is hire costumes. Again, we sometimes hire. Last year we did Guys and Dolls, and we had an inordinate amount of hires from a great company in Sheffield. So it varies each year. So, but that's the approach this year that we've done.
And that impacts the theatre as well, because we're working towards the Theatre Green Book accreditation.
Yes.
So reusing, recycling and hiring costumes all plays into that.
Absolutely. And even I've always done it. I've been doing costume work for 20, 30 years. And even if I've got a massive budget, if that company has a bank of stuff that they've used previously, my first question is always, okay, what do we have? Even fabrics, sometimes I've gone in and grabbed garments and cut them up and remade them into something else. You can always, I was actually listening to some online stuff last night, actually, about, I think it was Sandy Powell. And she said she had a buyer on a film that came into her office and dumped on the floor an old military tent. And it's not what the designer had asked for, but she said, I don't know why I've got this, but the fabric's fantastic. And in the end, the designer used it to make a coat for one of the leading characters. And that's very much what we do, is like, you think outside the box and you look at something and go, I can recycle that into that, or this into this kind of thing. So yeah, it's just, it's a good practice to do.
And lots of creative thinking needed.
But I enjoyed that. I think most creatives do, don't they, actually, Abbie? I think
having fun today, like looking for the boys' concert looks, like we're having a look online and having fun, like picking like lots of silvers and stuff. So that'll be really fun once that arrives to put it all together.
Just get it in a room and play.
Amazing. What's been both of your favourite parts of working on this show so far? It's very early on in the process.
Well, Abbie's quite new. Do you have?
I'd say, like, I feel like I've met such a nice, like, such lovely people being here. Like, all the children are all really nice. Like, they've all come in for fittings, they've all been really lovely. And so I met Emma, and Emma's been really nice, really like looked after me and trying to show me as much as she can. And I've learned a lot already, and I've only been here 2 days. So I'd say definitely like the people, and just makes me excited to see what else is to come, like when we move to the theatre and stuff. So
amazing.
I've been doing these projects now with Wakefield for I think about 15 years, and I think similar to what Abbie said, it's just the atmosphere and the young people, because every year they just blow it out the water with, it's a semi-professional production, and some of these young people do go on to do professional work. We've had previous young people now in Hamilton, as you probably well know, and in Cats. I recently saw Danny was in Cats. But it's the energy overall of the production. I love doing the costumes, don't get me wrong, but it's more about a collaborative approach that I really enjoy here, and the fact that at Wakefield everyone's just very hardworking but really laid back at the same time. It's a wonderful theatre to work at, and the whole process is just a joy from beginning to end. And that, if I'm honest, is not always the case in every theatre production you will do. There'll be other theatre productions where, for whatever reason, things don't work like that. But yeah, it's the overall feel of the project, I would say, that I enjoy the most out of it.
I would agree, definitely.
And did any of that tie into you choosing the placement here? Because obviously it ties into your studies.
Yeah, I feel like I chose here because I came to watch School of Rock, which was a few years ago, which you did the costumes for as well. And like, I recognised some of the children, and I've like spoke to them about it. So yeah, I think I chose Wakefield because of that, and because I really like the theatre. I've been a few times with my mum, and we've really enjoyed seeing everything. So I think that was definitely a draw for me. And then we had a call, didn't we, a few months ago, and Emma answered all my questions, and I felt very at ease. So I think that was one of my reasons why I picked here for a placement.
Amazing. And do you guys have a favourite costume for this show? Or even a favourite costume concept if it hasn't quite come to...
Do you know what? I'm going to be really radical here, because it's not a complex thing, actually. Our band boys at points are wearing black combat trousers and a black low-line vest. and it's really simple, and we complement them with different stuff. But actually, just the basics of those make them look really beautiful, because they're really handsome young men, and they've all got their own personalities. And it's a really simple costume. It really is. You know, it's not a handmade thing. But when they put them on, me and the director were like, yes, this is great. We can, you know, and we've used that as a base for various other scenes where they add on, not all the scenes, they have other costumes, but there was just something really lovely about it. And when we got the photographs back from the photo shoot, there's an image of them all just stood in the black and doing, and I thought, yeah, it's just really simple and strong. So that's probably mine. Have you come across a favourite?
I think mine's definitely Young Debbie. I feel like that's what I've been like. We've had a few fittings with her. I love the yellow, and she's got this cute little puffer jacket. She's got these Levi's jeans, which like I would wear if they fit me. Like they're so cute. And the girl who plays Young Debbie just suits it so much, and she's just so energetic. And I like how like Emma's like tied in Debbie's costume with like all her friends in the show, and like when like all the girls are all a different colour, so Debbie is yellow, and then like when the girls grow up, they're all different, they're all the same colour but just a different actor. So I like how that has like kind of flowed, and it all kind of fits in with the character of Debbie. So I think that's definitely my favourite, and you've done a very good job.
Thank you very much. She's very if you come and see the show, hopefully, she's a very bright character in the show, and she's a very important character. I don't want to give too much away. And it was a nice fitting, wasn't it? Because she was very happy in it as well. It worked really well. And we had her in for fitting yesterday, then with some amends to do for the fitting, and then we've had her back in, and she was we all did a happy dance at the end. So that is a nice costume actually. Yeah, it's true.
Seeing some of the photos that you spoke about, particularly the one of them in the black costumes, and it's like, oh, that's a boy band. Where did we find this boy band that was ready made?
And like I said, it's such a simplistic thing, but sometimes less is more. Not always, but like I said, I saw the images and I was like, perfect. But I say less is more. It's the simple things like, so it's always just a black vest, but actually they were specifically picked by me about where the neckline went on them to accentuate their torsos and things. So it's not just a black vest. You have to know where cut lines sit and all of that. But for the outside eye, it's like, they've got black vest and black combats on. That's really simple. But I'm like, it works. So and I mean, we had one of the lads in this morning that came in for a fitting, and he ended up just staying in it because he was so comfy. And in fact, this afternoon, I was like, Conor, are you going to get changed back into your own clothes? And he was like, oh yeah, I probably should. So it shows how comfy they are in it.
Amazing.
So it's good. Yeah.
And it's fabulous, the storytelling that can be done, like you were saying, the different colours for the different girls, and as they grow up, different actors but same colours.
We have a habit of doing that here, me and Louise, actually. Just to help the audience. My approach with costume as well is it has to support and complement and help tell the story. If it doesn't, what's the point? And also, what's the point in having a costume designer or a manager? Because you could just stick them in anything then, you know. So it has to really work. And it's things like we've got here behind us, some of this sneak peek, some of the jackets for the final scene. Again, I won't say too much, but there's a floral theme. They've you know, and there's just certain themes, like one scene has quite a few stripes in, and they're really subtle things, but for the audience what it does is cohesive storytelling. And there's a thing to do with the flowers about one of the characters that's in the script and in the storyline that's important that we see at the end as well. So again, not giving too much away.
It might not be something the audience like actively notices, like goes, oh, they're all wearing stripes. But it does.
It's a subconscious thing. It's not it's definitely not a conscious thing, but it's a subconscious thing where it pulls the aesthetics together. So the audience just sit back and enjoy, and it works. Kind of thing. So
you're saying about like it's not like really obvious, it just works, and it's like if it was obvious it wouldn't work as well.
It would distract from things.
I think that's a good point.
And is there anything else that audiences might want to look out for when they come see the show?
I think definitely the colour scheme with the girls. Do you want to like talk about
that? So we've so obviously we know that this piece is set in the 1990s, my childhood. Smash hits was a massive thing, top of the pops. So I looked at some of the colourways that were around at that time, and we allocated colours to our 5 main girls. And as you were saying, those colourways follow them all the way through the story, because because we have 2 different sets of actresses as they move from being young teenagers into adulthood. So it just helps the audience register subconsciously again that, oh, it's purple. Oh, that's Rachel, kind of thing. And even like, oh, that's Rachel's boyfriend. Oh, he's purple. He's got a bit of a, so there's little hints like that. And again, we've done that in previous shows, like subconscious hints to try and help the audience. So yeah, look out maybe and see if it works. And it's not like purple, but it's like lilacs, and there's different tones of it. But the actress is always, hopefully.
Yeah.
Don't know. And even down to their props, I've coordinated with Lottie on the props.
Wow.
So we've got handbags and school bags, and
Yes.
and also I think there is a realism to it, but also what will then happen is there's a bit of theatricalness with it, because she comes on with a green hoodie and she's got a green rucksack, and how many people in real life would really do that? But some people would, but not everyone.
Yeah.
So there's also a little bit of theatricalness to it. So yeah, maybe have a look at that and see. And maybe count how many costume changes the boys have in the band. Let's just say if those boys are not on stage performing, they are changing.
So
They
look at the rail.
do
behind us.
not get a moment to themselves. So, yeah, I've prepared them mentally for it, but I don't know if they've fully registered yet what they've got to do.
So this rail is all for the boys.
The boys. They have 10 different looks. I think it's about 10 different looks each.
Wow.
So, like I said,
Lots of costumes.
there's lots, and it's all relevant. It's not surplus to requirements, but it helps tell a story. But literally, if they're not on stage singing and dancing, they're changing.
Wow.
So I've told them to brace themselves. Yeah.
And final question we ask all our guests: where's your favourite seat in the theatre?
Ooh.
It's a very hard choice.
Let me think about this, because there's different. It's hard for me to answer that because I have different favourite seats in different bits of the show, the process of the show.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Because it goes from tech to dress to show. Just to say, I never come and see an opening night. That's not to do with the seating, but because I was saying to Abbie, like I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and the costumes always look great. I'm not being big head about that, but if I see opening night, I still see stuff I want to fix, and I'm like itching. I can't, so I tend to see it later in the performance. But in the actual tech and dress, my favourite position is near the production desk, because the reason is, again, collaborative approach.
Yes.
We are all then communicating as it's going on. Louise, Di, John's a little bit further back with the sound quite often, and you can just have those conversations. Louise might turn to me and go, yes, that works, or what's that? Or I might do the same.
Yeah.
And that's really important. But watching the show, I don't really know. I like to see the show from different angles. You get different experiences, don't you?
Yeah.
I think. I'm waffling now. So I don't really know is my answer.
You come multiple times and sit in different seats
Yeah,
every time.
Yeah. The only thing I've not done with Wakefield Theatre that I've done in many other theatres, which sounds a bit strange, but I love this because I once did a abstract performance in a theatre where you got health and safety. This was before, where you view the show from the fly floor.
Oh, wow.
And that is I know, like, from an audience point of view, you would never do that, but that's quite a special experience to do, just to see the mechanics, because you get to see everything then.
Yeah.
And that's quite special. And I've not done that at Wakefield, but I've done it at a number of theatres where I've just gone and sat up on the fly floor quietly and watched the dresses, because you get to see on stage, off stage, the set coming in, and I love it because you just see all the magic going on, and then you can glance and you can see the audience. So that's actually probably my favourite place.
I'd say probably from like an audience point of view, probably like on the stalls, but not at the front, like in the middle. Because you feel like you get a good view, you get can see everyone, but you're not too close to the front that you're looking up. Or maybe like the first tier up, right in the middle, right on the front row. Because then you can see right to the back, you can see all the set. So yeah.
Amazing.
But
Very
anywhere,
good
if you get to see the show, any seat will do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today, and hopefully we'll see you guys at the band, and you can look out for all the amazing costume things and try lots of different seats that we've suggested. Thank you for spending this time with us backstage at the Theatre Royal Wakefield. If you enjoyed the episode, please give us a like, subscribe, leave a comment and share with a fellow theatre lover. For tickets and all the latest news, please head to theatreroyalwakefield.co.uk. We'll be back soon with a new episode, and until then, we'll save you a seat.